They say that when a lion becomes too proud, even the smallest thorn can bring it to its knees. Long ago, in the powerful kingdom of Tembu, there lived a queen whose name caused grown men to tremble and mothers to lower their voices. Queen Tambi was feared across the land. Servants shook whenever her footsteps echoed through the palace halls. Royal guards stood as stiff as trees in a storm, terrified of making even the smallest mistakes. The poor cursed her in silence. The rich praised her out of fear. And no one dared to tell her the truth. Yet, of all the people in Tembu, the one who would change her life forever was not a warrior, not a chief, not a great elder, and not a powerful king. It was a simple servant girl named Katina. The elders of Africa say, no matter how tall the tree grows, it can never escape the roots beneath it. Queen Tambi had forgotten her roots. She believed her throne made her greater than everyone else. She believed her wealth placed her above the suffering of ordinary people. She believed power would last forever. But destiny was already walking toward her. For there is another saying among the old storytellers: the ear that refuses to hear advice will one day hear the cry of regret. And before the moon had completed its journey across the sky, a single sentence spoken by a humble servant would shake an entire kingdom, humble a cruel queen, and become a lesson remembered for generations. This is a story of Queen Tambi of Tembu Kingdom, the ruler who was feared by all, the servant who dared to speak the truth, and the wisdom that transformed Thailand into the beloved queen of the people. For many years, the kingdom of Tembu lived beneath the shadow of fear. Whenever Queen Tambi's royal drum sounded from the palace hill, conversations stopped. Market traders lowered their heads. Children ran indoors. Even village chiefs became nervous. The people did not love their queen. They obeyed her, and there is a great difference between obedience and love. As the elders say, the goat follows the rope because it must. The child follows the mother because of love. Queen Tambi ruled with the rope, not with love. Each harvest season, the tax collectors moved from village to village, demanding grain, cattle, chicken, and coins. The people worked hard, yet much of their labor filled the royal storehouses. Meanwhile, inside the palace, luxury overflowed. The queen ate from the golden plates. She wore robes decorated with rare beads brought by traders from distant lands. Every evening, musicians played for her while servants fanned away the heat. Yet, the more wealthy she gathered, the less satisfied she became. For there is an old African saying, the stomach of greed has no bottom. Among all who served her, none worked harder than Katina. She rose before the first rooster crowed. She swept corridors. She polished the royal throne. She washed clothes. She carried water. She prepared the queen's meals. And every night she prepared the royal bed. The other servants often whispered among themselves, one day this queen will destroy us all. May the ancestors soften her heart. Power has blinded her. Katina listened but remained silent. Her grandmother had once told her, wisdom enters through listening, not through speaking. So she watched and she listened. One afternoon, while gathering flowers for the queen's chamber, Katina overheard two elderly women speaking near the palace gates. Do you remember Queen Tambi's father? One asked. Yes, replied the other. He was a good king. He walked among the people. He knew the names of farmers. He listened to widows. The first woman said, The river that forgets its source soon dries. Those words stayed with Katina. The river that forgets its source soon dries. She wondered if Queen Tambi had forgotten where she came from. Perhaps power had made her forget. Perhaps wealth had blinded her. Or perhaps no one had ever dared tell her the truth. For everyone feared her. Everyone except Fate. And Fate was preparing a lesson. Months passed. Then one year, a terrible drought struck Tembu. The rains did not come. The rivers shrank. The crops began to fail. Farmers looked anxious towards the sky. Mothers worried about feeding their children. Village elders prayed for rain. But Queen Tambi remained inside her palace. She ordered her servants to fill her fountains with water while villagers struggled to find enough to drink. This angered many people, but no one dared speak openly. One evening, Katina visited her old grandmother in a nearby village. The old woman sat beneath a giant mango tree. Her face was wrinkled by time, but her eyes sparkled with wisdom. Katina told her about the suffering in the kingdom. She spoke about the drought. She spoke about the queen's selfishness. She spoke about the fear that gripped the people. The grandmother listened quietly. Then she said, "A person carrying honey attracts flies. A person carrying wisdom attracts responsibility." Katina frowned. "I don't understand." The old woman smiled. "You see the truth. You understand the suffering. That means one day you may have to speak." Katina shook her head. "Speak to Queen Tam? Never. She would punish me." The old woman nodded. "Perhaps. Yet remember this. The truth is like a sun. You can cover it for a while, but sooner or later it shines again." Katina returned to the palace with those words in her heart. Days later came the event that changed everything. The day began like any other. Katina worked from sunrise until evening. She prepared the queen's meal. She arranged fresh flowers. She cleaned the royal chambers. Finally, she reached the queen's magnificent bed. Its sleek sheets glowed beneath the candlelight. Its pillows looked softer than clouds. Katina had been working almost without rest for weeks. Her body was hurting. Her feet burned. Her eyelids felt heavy. She sat on the edge of the bed. Only for a moment, just one moment, the mattress was incredibly soft. A cool breeze drifted through the palace windows. Her eyes closed. Within seconds, she fell asleep. Outside, the moon climbed high into the night sky. Time passed. Then the palace doors opened. Queen Tambi entered. She had spent the evening feasting with wealthy merchants. She expected to find her chamber perfect. Instead, she froze. There, sleeping peacefully upon her royal bed, was Katina. For a moment, there was a complete silence. Then the queen exploded with rage. "Katina!" The servant awoke instantly. Her eyes widened. She jumped from the bed and fell to her knees. "My queen!" The queen's face burned with fury. "How dare you? My sacred bed? My royal bed? You filthy servant!" Katina trembled. My queen, forgive me. I was exhausted. I meant no disrespect." But Tambi's heart had grown hard over many years. She signaled the guards. "Take her away. Give her 20 lashes." The guards hesitated. They knew Katina was kind. They knew she worked harder than anyone, but fear controlled them, because our elders say that when fear enters the heart, courage slips outside. They obeyed. The punishment began. The whip cracked through the night air. Katina cried out again and again and again. Tears streamed down her face. The servants wept quietly. Even some guards looked away. But Queen Tambi watched coldly. Then something unexpected happened. Katina stopped crying. The pain remained. The wounds remained. Yet suddenly she began laughing. At first, softly, then louder. The courtyard fell silent. The guards stared. The servants exchanged frightened glances. Queen Tambi frowned. Why are you laughing? Katina looked up. Blood and tears marked her face. Yet her eyes were calm. My queen. What is so funny? Tambi demanded. Katina took a deep breath. Then she spoke words that would echo across generations. My queen, I slept on your bed for a few moments. For that brief mistake, I received 20 lashes. The queen remained silent. Katina continued. If resting upon such a luxury for a moment deserves this punishment, what punishment awaits those who enjoy such luxury every day while their people suffer? Silence. Complete silence. The words struck harder than any spear, harder than any whip, harder than any army. Queen Tambi suddenly felt something she had not felt in many years. Shame. The servants lowered their heads. The guards remained frozen. No one moved. No one spoke. And for the first time in life, Queen Tambi looked at herself honestly. The old stories say, the mirror does not lie, even to a king. And that night, Katina became Queen Tambi's mirror. The queen dismissed everyone and returned to her chamber alone. But sleep would not come. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw hungry children. She saw tired farmers. She saw frightened servants. She saw Katina standing wounded yet brave. For the first time, she understood. She had ruled through fear, but fear had made her lonely. She had demanded obedience, but she had never earned love. As dawn approached, she remembered her father's words from long ago. A ruler is not the owner of the people. A ruler is the servant of the people. By sunrise, Queen Tambi had made a decision that would change Tembu forever. The first rays of the morning sunlight touched the palace walls as she stood alone on her balcony, overlooking the kingdom. For many years, she had looked upon Tembu and seen only her possessions, my land, my cattle, my palace, my people. But this morning, something felt different. For the first time, she saw the kingdom not as something she owned, but as something entrusted to her. Below, smoke rose from village cooking fires. Farmers were already walking towards their fields. Women carried water pots upon their heads. Children chased one another through dusty paths. Life continued as it always had. Yet Queen Tambi felt as though she was seeing it all for the first time. The words of Katina echoed through her mind. If resting upon such luxury for a moment deserves punishment, what punishment awaits those who enjoy such luxury every day while their people suffer? The question would not leave her. As the elders say, a single spark can burn an entire forest. Katina's words had become that spark. The queen immediately summoned the royal council. The chiefs arrived. The generals arrived. The tax collectors arrived. The palace officials arrived. They entered expecting another day of commands and punishments. Instead, they found a queen unlike the one they knew. Queen Tambi stood before them without her jewels, without her golden crown, without expensive robes she usually wore. The council members exchanged confused glances. Something was different, very different. The queen spoke. For many years, I believed power meant being feared. Nobody dared to respond. She continued. I was wrong. The room became silent. Several chiefs thought they had misheard. A queen admitting she was wrong? Such a thing was almost unheard of. I have ruled with pride. I have ruled with selfishness. I have ruled without listening. The old chief Mwanda, who had served her father, looked up in surprise. The queen continued. Today that ends. The room erupted in whispers. Queen Tambi raised her hand. From this day forward, no village shall be taxed during the drought. The tax collectors nearly fell from their seats. The royal grain stores shall be opened. The chiefs gasped. The palace fountains shall be emptied and their water distributed to villages in need. Even the generals looked stunned. Then the queen added something nobody expected. And today, I will leave this palace and walk among my people. The room became completely silent. One chief finally spoke. My queen, rulers do not walk among ordinary people. Queen Tambi looked directly at him. Then perhaps rulers should. The old chief Mwanda smiled. For the first time in many years, he remembered the queen's father. And in that moment, he saw a small glimpse of him in his daughter. The elders say, when a lost child finds the path home, even the trees seem to rejoice. That very day, Queen Tambi left the palace. No grand procession, no musicians, no elaborate ceremony. Only a few guards accompanied her. The people could hardly believe their eyes. The queen was walking through the villages, not riding, walking. Some villagers hid inside their huts. Others watched nervously from a distance. Many thought she had come to punish someone. After all, that was Queen Tambi they knew. Fear had become her shadow. Then she arrived at the village suffering from the drought. The wells were nearly dry. The crops had withered. Children sat beneath trees looking weak from anger. An elderly woman approached cautiously. She did not bow. She simply stared. The guards moved forward, but Queen Tambi stopped them. The old woman spoke. My queen. There was no fear in the voice, only sadness. Do you know how long it has been since rain visited the village? The queen shook her head. No. The woman pointed toward the cracked earth. Neither do our children. For a moment, Queen Tambi had no answer. For years, she had heard reports, numbers, statistics, harvest records, tax corrections, but reports never showed tears. Reports never showed angry faces. Reports never showed suffering. Now, she was seeing the truth, and truth is difficult to ignore. The queen remained in the village all day. She listened, really listened. For perhaps the first time in her life, a farmer spoke about losing his crops. A widow spoke about raising children alone. An old man spoke about failing health. A young mother spoke about hunger. The queen listened to every story. A sunset approached. She sat beneath a giant mango tree. There she remembered another proverb her father used to say, the ears of a leader must be larger than his mouth. For years, she had spoken. Now she listened, and listening changed her. Over the following months, Queen Tambi traversed across Tembu. She crossed rivers, she climbed hills, she visited villages she had never seen before. Everywhere she went, she learned. Everywhere she went, she listened. At first, the people did not trust her. How could they? Fear built over many years cannot disappear in a single day. The elders say the wound caused by an axe heals, but the scars remains. Queen Tambi understood this. She knew trust would take time, so she did not ask for forgiveness. She earned it. one action at a time, one village at a time, one person at a time. She ordered schools built, she repaired roads, she dug wells, she reduced unfair taxes, she abolished grain reserves for times of drought. Most importantly, she opened her palace doors. Every week, ordinary citizens could come and speak directly to her. The same queen who once punished messengers for bringing bad news now welcomed criticisms. The same queen who once inspired fear now encouraged honesty. Years passed, the kingdom slowly transformed. Fields became green again. Trade increased, children attended schools, villages prospered, but perhaps the greatest change occurred inside Queen Tambi herself. She became humble, not weak, not powerless, still royal, still respected, but humble. She learned people's names, she visited the sick, she sat with elders, she laughed with children. Sometimes she even helped farmers during planting seasons. Visitors from neighboring kingdoms could hardly believe what they saw. Is this truly Queen Tambi? They asked. The cruel ruler everyone feared. The people would smile. No, she's not the one. That queen is gone. One evening, many years later, Queen Tambi sat beneath the same mango tree where she had once listened to villagers during the drought. Besides her sat Katina, not as a servant, but as a trusted friend and advisor. The queen looked toward the setting sun and said, Katina, yes, my queen. Do you remember the night you slept on my bed? Katina laughed softly. I remember every lash. The queen lowered her head, and I remember every word. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Queen Tambi said something she had never said before. Thank you. Katina looked surprised. The queen smiled. You told me the truth when everyone else was afraid. Katina nodded slowly. My grandmother used to say, a friend who speaks the truth is worthy more than 100 who spoke only praises. The queen smiled. Your grandmother was wise. As darkness settled across the kingdom, the sounds of laughter drifted from nearby homes. Children played, families shared meals, life flourished. Queen Tambi watched it all, and for the first time in her life, she felt truly rich. Not because of gold, not because of jewels, not because of power, but because of people who were thriving. Many years later, Queen Tambi finally joined her ancestors. Thousands gathered and to honor her. They did not remember the cruel queen she had once been. They remembered the queen she chose to become. A queen who listened, a queen who served, a queen who changed. And whenever storytellers told her tale around evening fires, they ended with these words. The greatest victory is not conquering others. The greatest victory is conquering yourself. And so the story of Queen Tambi and Katina spread across the land, touching generations after generations that wisdom can come from the humblest voice, and that even the hardest heart can change. For, as the old African proverb says, however long the night, the dawn will always come. And for the kingdom of Tembu, Katina's courage became the dawn. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. We'll see you in another story.